Hey everyone, the lecture hall doors are open, file line in, single file line. Let's keep everything orderly here, okay? It's not a mad rush. There's plenty of room for everyone here in the stadium seating lecture hall of Salem University to talk about this week's Days of Our Lives. Hey
Not a
everybody.
bad seat in the whole place.
No, you can see that tiny little desk with all the blackboards like we were talking about a couple of weeks ago. Easily done. Just come on in. The whole thing is set up so you
The
can
whole
learn.
thing.
So you can learn. Hey, Janet. Hey, Jeannie. We got people here already. Find a seat up front or in the back if you want to talk the whole time. Attendance. I feel like if I was a teacher, I would do that every morning. Just, all right, kids. Let's see who's here. You know, dragging a cigarette.
Oh gosh.
Hey, Jacarius. The TA Jacarius is here. That's good. We're going to really need his help this week. Matt, here. Hi.
Hi, Matt.
Hi. Kat, are you here?
Present.
Kat is here. Hey, everybody. Angela. Absent again this week. Angela, under the weather, not feeling great, not able to bring her best, not able to bring herself to the screen, but that's okay. Hopefully she'll be able to join us in the chat and she'll be able to keep us on track and let us know what the heck is going on here in the world of Salem, Illinois. Oh, goodness. Oh, goodness. You know what I forgot to do? I forgot to check and make sure we have sound. And we do have sound.
Yay.
So Jacarius is here, and Jacarius is bad news. And Jacarius, we already know the bad news. We'll talk about it a little bit here. We'll talk about it definitely a lot more on the 10th floor. Not to be too rhymey about it. Yeah, we received the bad news. Hey, George. We received the bad news as originally released by Michael Fairman. And you can also find details in a little retrospective on this at soapoperanews.net. But Billy Miller, who played Billy Abbott, right, on Young and the Restless?
Yes. He did great playing Billy Abbott. And of course, now that's Jason Thompson.
Yeah.
Is now playing Billy Miller. And he does, and Billy Miller, he now plays Billy Abbott.
Billy Abbott.
And he's knocking it out of the park. But Billy Miller's he was so good on Young and the Restless. I was really sad to see him go. And I also really enjoyed him on All My Children.
So yes, he was on All My Children as well. You know, this is, the guy's been on daytime forever. Excuse me.
I was actually kind of surprised at how young he is because he has been on soap operas forever.
Just like he started in his 20s.
He must have been in his early 20s when he first started out, barely an adult.
And of course, recently we knew him as Jason and Drew on General Hospital, but Billy Miller sadly on Friday passed away. The age of what, 44 it was?
He would be 44 today.
44 today, so 43 years old before.
Today's his actual birthday.
Yeah, so today's his actual birthday. Happy birthday. But also at the same time, we'll use this to remember and honor the legacy of Billy Miller. But, we couldn't get through this hour without mentioning it. Of course, it is the top news on everybody's mind today, as so many people woke up this morning to find that news.
That's the first thing I found on social media this morning.
So yeah,
And I was hoping that it was just like, a false rumor. I was hoping. But the more I dug and when I saw something from Michael Fairman, I thought, no, this is real.
Yeah.
There's no way that Michael Fairman would put this out and not know it to be fact.
No, there was, what I saw last night on Twitter was a bunch of rumblings. I hope this isn't true. I hope the news that I just heard is a rumor and such. And people responding to that going, oh, you've heard too. And then, of course, you get the people in there going, oh, yes. Oh, what a terrible, blah, blah, blah. Like, people who obviously don't know anything, but then they're just trying to sound like they're in the know. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. When is this going to be revealed? Way off base as to what the actual situation was.
I guess I heard that he had passed on Friday.
Yeah. That's the news that I saw as well. He had passed away on Friday. News broke late last night. And here we are reacting to it today.
Yeah.
So it's unfortunate, but come back to us at 11 a.m. for the 10th Floor podcast when we cover General Hospital. And since that was the most recent show that he was on, and really where I know him from the most,
Hmm.
we'll
Yeah.
do some talk on that. We'll remember in great detail at 11 a.m. today right here on this channel. So join us for that. But even though Billy Miller is no longer with us, that doesn't mean that we didn't have a week of soap operas in which people who are still with us gave us some great stuff.
They sure did.
Days of Our Lives, great every single week.
Uh-huh.
And we can go ahead and we can just start off with the thing that I know that Jacarius just did 18 backflips over. And that was when Chanel and Johnny were hanging out, and Chanel's just like, you know what, Johnny? I don't like that girl very much after all.
That's pretty much what she said. That's pretty much. It was pretty much. It's like, she was digging on Talia. She was. But boy, as soon as she found out that Johnny Boy was still digging her, boy, she had all kinds of different feelings pop up, didn't she?
Listen, I just needed to have something to do while I thought you were busy with Wendy. Okay, so
Yeah. And I have to go turn this fan on again. I'm starting to roast already. I'll be right back.
Yeah. So Jacarius, tell me how great did you do 18 backflips? Did you do more than 18? Did you do 28? Did you just 22? Did you do one for every month that Johnny and Chanel were not together? You let me know. You tell me in the chat. But anybody else here too, do you care? Are you happy? My biggest, weirdest thing about this, and I was hoping that Angela would be here to explain it to us. But my weirdest thing about this is we've had kind of two storylines on Days of Our Lives that were just kind of like, we're gonna never mind. Like, they didn't even get off the ground. Chanel and Talia, we're gonna, nah, I like Johnny.
Yeah.
And then there's like the Sean, I'm gonna be commissioner. Nah, it's just you, Rafe, you have your job back.
Yeah.
And I don't know,
is that normal? Sean's messing up, isn't he?
Yeah. But is that normal? I wonder if that is normal on Days of Our Lives for them to kind of like stutter start something and then straight back to the status quo.
Well, that's more of a General Hospital thing, isn't it?
Not really, because General Hospital will like put a little random detail into something and then revisit it 8 months later. That's not the same thing as like starting something and stopping it.
That's true.
Same thing with like a character that they don't really know what to do with, or they don't have a strong plan for when they're like, this is going to be their introduction. What they do after that, we don't know. When they get to the we don't know part, that's where it gets a little struggling, because it's not necessarily a start-stop situation. It's just dragging your feet until we make a decision.
Mm-hmm.
So, but I don't know. Jacaria says that I'm so happy that Johnny and Chanel are back together. I asked for that for a year. So apparently 12 backflips then. One for every month they were separated.
And it seems to me like they're going to be on a fast track too.
I mean,
yeah, they're not agreeing to go slowly, it doesn't seem.
Why would they need to? They're coming back together. They already did the slow part.
Yeah.
He's just like, you want to move into the mansion with me, right? Didn't he ask that? So you ready to just pack your bag and come on live with the DiMera house with me?
Now, since they're on a fast track, usually Days of Our Lives, we've seen that already. They're on a fast track with their stories. I think the two of them would be bumping uglies by Wednesday.
I'm surprised they didn't do it immediately.
I know, right? Right there on the couch. For Rachel to walk in.
Oh, Rachel. No. Oh, no. That's no good. She has too many secrets already. She knows way too much. She's like the supreme powered child being.
Oh, boy.
Oh, my God. So Johnny and Chanel back together. A very popular couple in the past, from my understanding. What they did, what sort of activity they were up to, why they're so popular, I don't know yet, because I really haven't really seen them together. So kudos to these crazy kids.
Mm-hmm.
And if you aren't following Carson Boatman's YouTube channel, I guess you should.
Yeah, I had a chance to see him a couple months ago and I passed on it.
Oh, day players, right? In
Day players were in Sacramento.
Yeah, you decided to do something else instead, or save the money for something.
Yeah.
Well, now that you've seen more Days of Our Lives, maybe there's more of a draw.
There would be more of a draw.
Because before it was just Wally Kurth and Brandon Barash that you knew from the band, and you haven't seen Brandon Barash, and you haven't in a long time.
No, now now that he's on days,
Because
I've
he
seen it,
was
but
Anthony Zaccaro, right? Or
he was Johnny.
Johnny Zaccaro.
He's Anthony's kid,
Yeah.
and he was so good on there too. I really liked him as Johnny Sakara. I did. But no, he hasn't been on in a long time. And the last time he was on General Hospital, he was on he was hiding on the Haunted Star. And we saw him for like 2 days.
Jumped in
and
the water
Maxie kind of told him, "Get out of here, Johnny. What are you doing?" And that was the end of it, kind of.
Well, that's why what did they call him? ATM Valentini? It's like, oh man, I need a paycheck. You got a couple of days for me? So it's been a while since you've seen him. So this is kind of a reintroduction to him. Wally Kurth, of course, has been just a mainstay in daytime since its inception. Like the MVP of daytime, Wally Kurth, the workhorse. He's like, I don't know. Let's put a wrestling reference on here. Shelton Benjamin. He's just a guy that's been around forever, can do anything, but was never world champion.
Okay. I don't know who that is. Was that the redheaded guy?
No. He's actually a very talented and athletic black wrestler. Shelton Benjamin. He was famous for, I don't. This is old stuff. I mean, he started 20 years ago and is still going today. But he was very famous for, in the early part of his career, fancy ways of not getting eliminated from the Royal Rumble. Like they throw him over the top rope and he'd do a flip and land on a chair rather than the floor and then hop back in the ring.
Oh, yeah, like acrobatic kind of stuff almost. Yeah. Gymnastics.
Yeah, super acrobatic, super talented with that. Anyway, not the topic of Days of Our Lives. Shelton Benjamin, from my understanding, has never been in Salem.
Probably not.
But connected to Johnny and Chanel, because Talia, sad, runs off, goes get drunk at the bar. Sean, of course, can't put the bottle down. And then they find themselves no longer at the bar.
No, they found themselves at the hotel, didn't they?
The hotel, the only place that anybody ever goes in Salem. Either the pub.
Salem Inn.
It's either the Salem Inn or Brady's Bar is like the only locations that people hang out at.
And that seems to be the locations where they make their biggest mistakes, too.
Well, especially the hotel. Especially that hotel. So you got Wendy and Tripp in one room. On the other side of the wall, you've got Talia and Sean. I don't know. I liked that though. I like the way that they did that as the show.
I was surprised actually. I found it to be a weird pairing.
Like Brooklyn Valentine.
Yes. I found it to be a weird pairing, but man, you add tequila with a beer shooter.
Inhibition just leaps out of your body at that point.
You might make a mistake or two.
But I liked how the show did that because, they did the flirty, drinky. You can kind of see where this thing is going. Then Belle goes to the bar to go retrieve her man. And, and they just show the empty bottles and shot glasses and people who aren't there anymore. And you're just like...
Yep.
Immediate confirmation. But that moment, you're like, oh, dang. But as we were saying before we went on here, this is pretty much going to be it for Talia and Belle, huh?
Yeah, I think Talia's going to hit the road.
Oh, Talia. I wrote the name down.
It's Talia, hon. It's not Talia.
Talia.
Okay.
Well, Talia is the character's name on Mistletoe Road by James Lott Jr.
It's okay because I called Sarah Susan the whole last episode.
Did you?
We did on Days.
Oh,
when I talked about her having the baby, I said she was Susan over and over again. And it's Sarah. And I said Susan at least a half a dozen times.
Well, so this word that I wrote down, Talia, is how I originally read the word. But then I did Mistletoe Road with James Lott Jr. So check out that on your audio podcasting platforms for my acting voice. And that character's name is Talia. And I think it's spelled the same way. Anyway.
Okay.
Talia and Sean doing their thing. Hippity hopping out of the show. Belle out of the show. We talked about it a couple of weeks ago. Both of these actresses, of course, we know are stepping away.
Yeah, they don't have very many episodes left, we guess.
It seems like the
yeah, and I think that with this week's episodes, I think that soon will be the case. They kind of wrapped the groundwork, I think, this week for them to leave, sort of. Um, but yeah, boy, I'm kind of looking forward to next week because I think we're going to have a scene where we have Sean and Talia are going to wake up with, oh my God, what we have done. I think they're going to have a wake up moment. You know, they're going to pass out. They're going to pass out after they did some things they probably shouldn't have been doing together. Uh, and I think they're going to do a wake up of shame. And oh boy.
But since this is Days of Our Lives, Belle could walk in right away. You know, sometimes we don't wait for nothing on this show.
Right. And she could very well walk in that room and go, this hotel needs an air freshener.
Oh my God. Oh no. Oh no. So yeah, so I don't know. Like, but clearly they're going to be unhappy people. I guess. So
yeah. And it seems like Belle's a little tired of his nonsense already. It's like, okay. And it appears, and of course we haven't been watching that long, but it appears that Sean has been given chances and chances
to put the bottle down.
Yeah.
Just stop.
And it sounds that he's actually had short spurts of success with that.
Well, he's losing right now, that's for sure.
He sure is.
That's for sure. Jacaria says that this is Belle's karma.
Oh, well, she did say this week that she's been a cheater a couple of times.
Yeah, that was part of this. That was part of the whole, like, leaving Belle at the place to begin with to go to the bar to drink some more and then have this conversation and lamenting and then well, she did it, I'm gonna do it too.
Yeah.
So, if she just kept her pants closed, then maybe this wouldn't have been a problem.
Maybe. I wonder if Sean is going to remain on the show, or he's going to wind up being gone too.
Just falls off entirely. The character falls off for being too drunk. She cheated on him 4 times, says Jacarius.
4 times with different fellas, or 4 times with the same dude?
That's, I guess, does that matter? Now, 4 times, do you mean like 4 instances, or like with Bobby, and then with Joe, and then with Stuart, and then just with like Samuel?
Yeah.
John Michael Potter, Paul.
I think Peter. She did something dumb with EJ at one point. I think.
Oh, EJ, I guess is Johnny's dad, and I didn't realize that.
Yeah, I didn't realize it at first either. But yeah, EJ is Johnny's dad, huh?
Yeah, because EJ to me seems like too young to be Johnny's dad, but that's just, I guess, my gut feeling on it. Or I'm almost 40 myself, and I just can't recognize what people look like for age anymore.
And who's supposed to be? I wonder who's supposed to be older, EJ or Kristen is his sister, right?
I think so. Jakaria says that Belle cheated on Sean 2 times with Philip, 1 time with an unknown person, and 1 time with EJ.
Yeah, I remember something about EJ this past week. She had.
So yeah, I guess, from one perspective, she definitely was asking for it. I don't know Belle very well, other than I'm your kid.
Belle is a lawyer with hot pants.
She's a lawyer with hot pants. She's the kid of John and Marlena. That's pretty much the extent of Belle that I know. I don't know if she's good. I don't know if she's bad. I don't know if she's somebody that just constantly makes the wrong choice.
And she's Brady's sister.
Yes,
Brady's twin, right?
Brady's dad, or John is Brady's dad. And you know that because John cannot keep his hands off of Brady. He's just like, son, you're gonna be fine, son. And like okay, all right, folks, all right. Absolutely nothing wrong with a loving father. Absolutely nothing wrong with contact between son and father. But it is very weird the way that John goes about it.
Well, yes, there's nothing wrong with some physical affection between son and father. Absolutely none. But it does seem a little. It's a little. I think because of his age, seems a little odd.
I don't know. Maybe we're just weird. Maybe we
are weird.
Johnny's a twin. Allie's dad is Lucas. Sammy had twins with 2 dads. Oh yeah, I remember us talking about that before. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh.
Twins with 2 dads.
Oh goodness. Over on the GH show, we'll have to talk about how Jake and Aiden are practically the same age now.
Yeah, they are, huh? practically.
Well,
Yeah.
honestly, in real life, Enzo, who plays Aiden, is actually older than Hudson West, who plays
Really?
Jake.
Wow.
We'll talk about that at 11 o'clock.
Okay.
So yeah, Johnny's a twin. Yeah, I think we talked about that before. Ah, Johnny, Johnny. Wonder what sort of wacky adventures they're gonna come up with for those two. I mean, back to that topic because, like I said before, it was like I like you, Talia, and now I don't. Talia. Oh gosh.
Yeah.
I like you, Talia, and now I don't. Hey Johnny, I'm with you again. Like, is she gonna be like, all right, Johnny, thank you for that day. I'm interested in Brady now.
Yeah.
you know.
Wow.
I don't know. Anyway, I don't know what to expect. I don't know what's going on. But we'll find out soon here on Days
Days
in
of
Our
Our
Lives.
Lives is just so different than what we're used to watching because the storylines go so quickly.
I mean, we've let's just take Ava and Harris. Let's start talking about that.
Okay.
That's pretty much just been on go since they started.
Hmm.
Oh, hey Ava, it's me, Harris. Oh yeah, I remember you from high school. We have an immediate bond because we know each other. What? A gun has been pulled on you? Let's get
Yeah.
out of here.
Yeah.
Just what was it? A reunion, hypnosis. I realize I didn't actually kill Susan. The gun gets pulled. We're out of here. All of this is going on, and then EJ is just reminded that Ava exists, and he's
Hmm.
like, "Yo, I gotta kill that lady."
Yeah. Yeah. It doesn't seem like they show anybody, like for instance, with Chanel, they never showed her pining, longing for Johnny. If only he'd pay attention to me again. They didn't show anything like that.
Mm-mm.
But as soon as he was on canvas and said, "Hey, hey, baby, I still like you," she was like, "Oh, I like you too."
It's like that scene in
That's
Bruce Almighty where his clothes just fall off.
yeah. And it seems it kind of felt the same way with EJ too. He's like, we didn't see a lot of EJ like, twirling his mustache and how can I get Ava? No, not at all. We didn't see that.
No,
But boy, as soon as someone mentioned him, he was mad as hell.
Oh yeah. Oh, I should have killed her long
We got to get a
ago.
hit lady to kill her.
I've let her live for too long. I'm EJ
Yes.
DiMera. Um, and then also like Teresa comes into town and she's just like bloop into the deep end of all of the drama. There's no warm up. There's no
No.
3 episodes of her having lunch first. you know.
And they were like, with Teresa, she was like, "Oh, Brady, 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 Brady. I still love you, Brady." I said, "Oh, don't you want to get back together, Brady?" Blah, 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 blah. And he was
Who
like,
is that?
And who is
Oh,
that?
oh my goodness! Oh, look
Who's
at
that?
you! I'm
Alex?
just, I'm just, I'm just I'm just all aflutter when I look at you,
Exactly.
Mr. Alex.
She was
Goodness!
like, "Oh,
Oh,
he's handsome. Look at that, Alex. Oh, he's a Cadillacs. Oh, that makes me even more interested."
you got my engine running,
I tell you what,
Alex.
though,
So much I'm gonna
that
chase
young
you and
man.
Brady to Greece.
I tell you what, though, that Alex Kariakis, they showed him without a shirt a couple of times this week. My gosh,
That's all they
he is
do.
built, isn't
That's
he?
his greatest contribution. Alex to me is just the weirdest character.
He
You know,
is so fit.
well, he's super fit apparently
And
and has been forever. I don't know what
what
this
is he
man's
like?
diet
Four
is like.
percent. He's got 4% body fat.
It's interesting. Okay, because so you've got an actor like Jason Momoa, for example,
Hmm.
Channing Tatum as well. Two examples, um, who are relatively well known for maintaining a fit physique,
Yes.
a hyper fit physique.
Yes.
But both of them, on separate occasions, have also been like what you see on the movie is not what I look like 11 months out of the year.
Hmm.
I do that for the film.
Yeah.
And then the rest of the time, I'm keeping a regular shape.
Hmm.
I'm eating potato chips. But I don't look like Aquaman. I don't look like Magic Mike.
Right.
I look like them with a fine layer of fat over everything,
Yeah.
Like a normal, regular human being.
Yes.
Alex Scott Winter or whatever his name is.
Mm-hmm.
Seems to be maintaining this his entire life. Like, I don't know, doesn't seem to have that break. That 11 months out of the year, I look like something else.
Doesn't appear to. Boy,
Hey, Dolly.
he's one of the most fit folks I've seen on soap operas.
Yeah. So I guess while he's there, they're going to utilize it. Alex's character, though, totally strange to me. Totally weird. Just like the Forrest Gump of Days of Our Lives, really. Not when it comes to like, I'm dumb, I'm an idiot, I'm simple, or anything like that, you know? But like just, okay, I'll do that, you know?
Kind of seems that way, but we since in the time that we've been watching Days of Our Lives, though, he hasn't had a lot of meat to his story.
No, he's just like, I'm
Not
going to
really.
move here. Oh,
He's
we're
been
friends.
hanging out in front of
friends.
what's her name and what's his name's apartment building more than anything at his door, making excuses to go in more than anything.
But he's just very much like, okay, I'm your friend now. Oh, you don't want me here? Okay. All right, I'll hang out my house. Oh, you're here though. Now you're in my house. I don't understand what you want from me.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, okay. We're friends. Hey, handshake. Cool. Okay. Well, cool. I guess everything's fine on that front. I'm gonna go hang out somewhere else. Oh, I'm having a date here. Oh, this is okay. Oh, she didn't like me. Okay. What else? All right. Oh man, my uncle died. All right. Okay. I'll go to his funeral. All right. Hey, cool. Hey, everybody. I'm Alex. All right, great. Oh, hi. You're Teresa. Okay. Hey, Teresa. All right. Oh, Brady, you want to go to Greece? Okay. All right. Hey, I know somebody who can get us passports.
I do think that Teresa's going to wind up helping them in some way in Greece, though.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what's going on with that because they're definitely setting her up as somebody like, what is she up to? Did she come back to town with a plan?
In some way. Yeah, well, Teresa doesn't seem like so far what I've seen from her is that she's a schemer. Scheming
something. And next week she's going to get her hands on something very important that belongs to Victor.
Maybe it's his will.
I don't know exactly what it is. Maybe it is. Maybe it's not. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. But
maybe next week is when isn't she going to go away? That actress is going to go away, but Teresa's going to remain, and it's going to be a new person.
Yeah,
right.
Something like I don't know exactly when. She did 2 weeks of filming, so I don't know what that is going to translate to episode count.
Yeah, it's hard to know, huh?
Yeah.
It's absolutely hard to know.
Yeah, so I'm really not sure. We'll see. Because the rumored person that's going to be replacing Jen Lilly, as Teresa Donovan, is the actress who plays Gwen currently, who is still involved with stuff. It doesn't look like
Gwen. The person that's playing Gwen is going to play?
That's the rumor.
Really?
Yeah.
Is Gwen going away?
I don't know how that's going to work out, but it's not like, it doesn't seem like we're in a position to just...
without an accent?
I don't know how that's going to work out. Oh, there are people that are like, okay, this is classic days. There are like people out there that's like, all right, this is classic days. I'm on board. And there are other people out there going like, what the hell? What are you doing?
Yeah.
So I don't know. I know that Gwen isn't the most popular character. But that's because she's letting people think that she's dumb, as we find out at the end of this week.
Yeah. I mean, Dimitri cannot hide anything with Leo any longer. There are several people that now know. Kristen knows. Gabby knows. Stefan knows.
Rachel knows.
Well, Rachel doesn't exactly know, but she knows.
And of course, Gwen, apparently, this whole time.
Yeah, she didn't being played for by a fool at all.
See, that's the thing. That's what Angela was talking about the last couple of weeks. She's like, I don't know why they don't just clue her in, because she would be like, all right, cool, whatever. I want the money. I'm a schemer myself, So I guess as it turns out, she's just been scheming.
And and it was so funny too, because now on Friday when she said at the end of the episode, Kristen told her, and at the end of the episode, she was like, "Yeah, I know."
Yeah, oh, I know.
And that was the end of the episode. Yeah, I know. Great. But it really made sense where she went to go see Leo, and she just rubbed it in his nose so hard. All we do is shag, shag, shag. That's what she said.
She was just turning the screws against Leo.
Yeah. But the magic penis, all we do is shag, shag, shag.
That's why, and then that leads into like Greenland. What are you doing here, Maddie? Oh, it's a Madonna concert. We should go together.
Uh-huh.
Just continuing to just make it harder on poor gay Leo, who just wants a man. He can't have a man. You know, the show won't let him have a man. Somebody give Leo a man. And then he can go skip off into the sunset, writing his lady whistleblower column, so everybody in town always knows everything that's going on the soap.
Oh my goodness gracious.
Now, it was a couple of weeks ago I criticized Days of Our Lives for something that I am now coming to enjoy about it.
What's that?
So Leo was like, a couple weeks ago, was like, in a town where aliens come and kidnap people and nobody ever stays dead. I'm like, come on, Days. It's a little too meta. That's a little too self-referential, you know? It's a little too on the nose. You know, there's this suspension of reality that I'm supposed to be taking in my soaps, you know? And when you directly mention, well, in a town where nobody stays dead, it takes away some of it for me.
Oh, okay.
Now I'm liking it because they drop these weird references of the wackadoodle crap that's happened in Salem over the decades.
They make fun of themselves.
They make fun of themselves. You know, they'll be like, I don't remember the exact reference, but I think it was Alex and Brady were walking around waiting for their food and just having a conversation as cousins do. And there was just these couple of references of things that just weird things that have happened in Salem in the past. That I'm just starting to really enjoy it. Just when it comes to like, what a weird life we live. So,
well, yeah, Days of Our Lives does make me laugh on the regular basis. It does.
Definitely got more comedy. GH doesn't have no comedy in it. I mean, it's got a little bit, but when it does, it's, you know, you got like, see, in Days, you got characters who could be funny. On GH, you got funny characters.
That's true.
Oh, goodness. So when is the number? So I guess we should probably talk, you know, in detail about Ava and Harris, because that's a big deal.
Yeah. They escaped and got out of there and went, and they were hiding in Tripp's apartment. And now Tripp's going to help them. Right?
Yes.
But, and then evidently Wendy can make the best looking passport you've ever seen.
Yeah, so I guess Wendy's job is false passport maker.
Yeah, so Chikari is like Wendy's family, some kind of crime family or something.
Seems like it. Lee doesn't seem to be the only one that has who might be lacking a couple of scruples when it comes to how they make money. Yeah,
I mean, you know, how kind of background does Wendy and Lee have? I mean, Wendy seems to be able to make a passport, and you know, like he said, there's the best fakes he'd ever seen
in my life. And I've lived a lot of life, Wendy. You don't understand, okay? I've been doing this stuff since I was a teenager, okay? Yeah. And I've seen some passports in my day, and this is the best ones ever.
False documents, hasn't he?
But does that lend so like, wow, these are the best ones I've ever seen? Does that then mean that the ones that he had previously received in his criminal past, or whatever past he has that required these passports, does that then mean that they were clearly of poor quality?
I don't know, but it seems to me that Wendy has access to everything she needs, like in an hour, to make a cool passport.
She's got like just a press in her bedroom.
She got herself a whole setup going on.
Just stamps and ways to put in the pictures and printers, and just a setup with like where you can take the picture with the blue screen in the back. You know, she knows exactly. Don't smile. This is the passport photo.
Well, I would like to. I want to see what their adventure is, and the whole Susan thing seems so goofy.
Susan, I guess, is in London.
Yeah.
Oh, you know, she kept on talking.
They have to go find her now, and somehow she's like telepathically been able to come.
Susan apparently
Ava and
is
tell her.
Olivia Jerome. She just can, or Opal Cortland. You know, she could just, you know, she just consults her crystal ball. You know, and just Ava in the lie.
And I thought, okay, I'm real tired of seeing, they got to put some different clothes on these people. Ava looks like she's got loungewear pajamas on still, and probably some fluffy slippers. They haven't shown her feet, but that's what I imagined on her feet. And then you got Harris. He's got a decent shirt on, but he's got like scrub kind of linen kind of pants on, with a drawstring.
Let's just get these people a t-shirt and jeans. Let's get Harris a black t-shirt and some jeans.
Yes.
And let's give Ava, some great pantsuit. Dolly says that Wendy is supposed to be an expert hacker and computer whiz.
Oh,
so
okay.
she just forged the hell.
She's just an IT genius, huh?
Yeah, so she knows how to the printing perfect. The paper I just rerouted to this apartment by hacking into the logistics systems of the United States passport government.
Oh, she like a little Spinelli, huh?
I mean, I don't know about that. I mean, I'm making all that stuff up. But if she's supposed to be a hacker and computer whiz, then yeah, I guess she'd be the Spinelli of Days of Our Lives.
Well, I'm just glad that her and Trip finally got to get busy with each other. They sure were waiting and waiting, weren't they?
Waiting and waiting. Just listening to Wendy's brother in the other room and going, you know what we should do? We should get out of here and do just that. And they did. And they did. Good.
He had to leave his phone at the hospital with his mama.
Just so he could just not get word, I guess. I
guess.
Whatever. I mean, who does that? I'm just going to leave my phone somewhere else entirely. People don't. I have mine right here. It's work. I don't need it right here, right now, but here it is. Anyway, so Ava and Harris on the run. Ava and Harris on the run. They're going to jump in some sort of cargo plane or something. Well, they need a passport, so I guess they'll get commercial airline tickets. Dummies. Super Spy Harris. I'm very good at staying inconspicuous.
Well, yeah, he's a trained Navy SEAL, so he should be able. He's a badass and a half.
But Navy SEALs aren't spies, and I think that's something that Daytime doesn't quite understand.
No, but evidently, Navy SEALs are supposed to have very different facets of talent.
I mean, I guess I know that they're the tough guys. The ones that'll, like SEAL Team 6 type of stuff. I dated somebody that was training to be a SEAL. It was it was intense. Wound up being a mechanic rather than a SEAL.
I remember him.
Yeah, he was very tall. So, it made sense. Anyway, so on the run, Ava and Harris, they're going to London. Susan's a psychic. It's wild. Harris called its old pal Sonny. Genie. Dolly says, yeah, she's basically Days Spinelli, so it's a perfect comparison.
Okay.
Look at us.
Well, that makes sense then.
Look at us being perfect. I like being perfect.
Because we haven't seen her do too much in the time that we've been viewing it.
No, really, just be with Trip.
Other than trying to, be with Trip.
Yep, that's all. That's the only really thing I know about her is that she's with Trip. There was a moment where she had to pick between Trip and Johnny. Trip. But that's all right. Johnny landed on his feet.
Yeah. He likes Chanel a lot.
Back with the person he wanted to be with anyway. I don't know, Mike, because it's fun. It's fun, but it's fun in this is more about Jason and Carly than about Days of Our Lives type of way for me. We get EJ in there, we get Susan in there, but it's not necessarily really about that. It's more about seeing Steve Burton and Tamara Braun together. Absolutely. Absolutely. So I don't know what to expect from it. I imagine that they're going to have to hide from EJ's goons, which I didn't realize EJ had goons.
I guess EJ ain't no better than his sister. EJ ain't no better than his sister.
Or his dad. Those DiMeras, they're just always up to no good. Always up to no good. Jeannie wants us to know that Teresa Donovan's daddy is Shane Donovan, who was played by Charles Shaughnessy. Charles Shaughnessy.
Oh
And you
my
know who's going to be
goodness.
on the show next week?
Oh, is he going to be on the show next week?
I have information for you, daughter. Something that you might find very interesting.
Oh, I would be very interested to see how his depiction is going to be
I know.
a comparison to Uncle Victor.
I'm very curious to see that too. So Jeannie, Jacarius, all of these wonderful people who are in the chat with us. Including Dolly and Michelle. Hey Michelle. Janet. All of these people who have contributed to the show today. If you're here watching and you haven't said hi, do so please right here in the chat. I want to know that you're here.
Yep.
They have us at a disadvantage because they have seen Shane Donovan and they have seen Victor Cassadine. I have not.
No.
So it's going to be just like the very first time.
I have not seen Shane Donovan. Yeah, that'll be good to see.
Now, when it comes to what I've seen from him when it came to Victor Cassadine, that was just a very evil Mr. Sheffield.
Yes. Yes, it was.
Just kind of the cadence and the way that he said things and how he addressed people and all of that was just classic Charles Shaughnessy.
Yeah.
But he was just up to no good rather than falling in love with a nanny and writing plays. So, Charles Shaughnessy is basically a James Bond villain on GH and on Days. Okay. Excuse me.
I'm not tired of seeing him.
Backwards. Excuse me. Oh, I missed a word. I misunderstood. Let me say that again. Dolly says it as follows. Charles Shaughnessy is basically a James Bond villain on GH and James Bond on Days. So I guess he's
maybe he's not so bad on Days.
Maybe it doesn't sound like he's bad at all.
Oh,
I know that he. So the last time we saw Shane Donovan was on Beyond Salem.
Oh.
In which he was in charge of the ISA, which is their International Security Alliance or whatever it is. And I think that's where Steve and John work for them. I think the Black Patcher used to work for them, or it's the WSB of Days of Our Lives. This ISA.
Oh, I bet you he's going to show up in Greece.
Yeah, so he's in Greece and he has something for Teresa. That's the spoiler from Soap Opera Digest.
Okay.
I don't know any of that. I guess.
Anyway.
I just bumped it. That's all.
I know.
That's all. So he's a good guy. He's one of the heroes on Days. Hey, Michelle, thanks for joining us. Michelle started watching it because of Charlie 2.0. Anyway, so he's coming on. I'm James Bond on this one. I'm a good one here for you, Teresa. Make sure this falls into the right hands and not the wrong ones. So that'll be exciting. Oh my gosh! Thanks for the perspective, everybody.
Yeah.
Jeannie says that EJ has greatly mellowed out, but he's an SOB. So I guess he used to be way
worse. Greatly mellowed out.
Yeah, so I guess this thirst that he's found for revenge against Ava is reminiscent of some of EJ's earlier years. Much like what we're seeing on GH with Valentine.
It's very interesting, too, how they decided to pick Susan with the... I don't know, they made her so ugly on purpose. I don't understand.
I think that was goofy 80s stuff.
I guess.
Just look at the teeth.
I don't understand. I don't understand the Bubba teeth. I don't understand.
You were alive in the 80s. You got to understand the Bubba teeth. It's just stupid. It's just goofy, stupid looking.
Yeah, I guess. It is goofy.
You remember Pat? From Saturday Night Live? It's Pat. You don't know what's, you don't remember Pat. It's okay.
No, not really.
Ernest. You remember Ernest? Ernest was not a regular looking man.
Yeah.
Austin Powers.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it's just interesting that they made her.
What it is, it's a technique that they don't use anymore because people audiences, Americans, whatever, however it is you want to describe it, have gotten to a point where they're just like, well, how come they have to look like that? Like there was this thing that came out called Witches with Anne Hathaway on Netflix,
Uh-huh.
and it's an adaptation of a kids like novel series, for like 10 year
Uh-huh.
olds. And in it, in the books, the witches all had very long fingers,
Uh-huh.
like very long fingers.
Mm-hmm.
And they got in so much trouble for doing this because they said that the message was that people who were born with deformities or in different ways are bad.
Oh, okay.
So these sort of
I think
depictions have kind of gone away when it comes to modern day storytelling in a way that, like in this specific instance, when it
mhm.
comes to Susan, where something that was just super goofy fun in like the 80s and early 90s is just now like, what the hell is this
Yeah, it
today?
just, and I think part of it is like, we're just so used to everybody on being on a soap opera being so damn gorgeous. And then they have this Susan who's goofy looking and acts goofy too.
Yeah.
And she's goofy looking. And I think like, okay, how did they depict her in a romance? Because it would seem to me like nobody would want to have one with her.
I mean, that's also, saying that people aren't deserving because of things they can't control. That's not right.
It just, it
She
just,
has babies. She's EJ's mama, right?
yeah,
Which would make Stefan know his dad.
yeah.
Well,
But
there
it
you
is
go. Well,
days of
there's
our
your answer,
lives,
Ma.
but it could be a stolen embryo. It could be like, I don't know, it could be a lot of
He
things.
probably just got with her because he got with everybody.
Maybe he had a Sean and Talia night,
It's just a goofy
with,
soap. I
oh
really
my
think
gosh,
that
what did we do the next
the
morning?
main thing is it's a goofy soap. It just it's Tammy Faye from or Bertha Faye from WWE. Like just
It is that, yeah. I do enjoy it though. I laugh at it every day. I enjoy it.
So the suggestion from Jeannie is that the teeth or Michelle and Jeannie and multiple contributors to this thought.
Mhm.
Um, is Susan came on in 96, 97, and the teeth were a way for her to look different from Kristen because they were both played by Eileen Davidson at the time. So I guess the
Yes.
move is for the actress who plays Kristen to also play Susan.
Okay, so I saw Eileen Davis. I saw a shot of her. I didn't see her as Susan in a clip. I saw
Mm.
her in just a shot, a photo. She was, yeah, they made her look really ugly.
Susan is supposed to be the hillbilly double of Kristen.
Oh, okay. Okay.
So okay, so there's a classic 90s thing as well. The identical but very different cousin. That's
Yes.
something that's very 90s. I remember that distinctly from Family Matters when Urkel's female cousin would always come to town,
Yes.
and Jaleel White would play her as well.
Yes. And didn't he have someone come too that was like super cool and put together and
Oh,
they
that was
had,
him. Yeah, he'd take the glasses off, put a suit on, and he
yes.
played Stefan.
Yeah, and then he was looking all good and
Yeah,
stuff. I
yeah.
don't
And then
remember
eventually,
that.
because the show got all weird, eventually Stefan and Steve separated bodies. And then Laura really liked Stefan, and Steve was like, what the? What, really? So if I was just him, my life would be totally. And then ultimately, of course, Laura sees the right and the light of the heart. And by the time the series is over, they're all making out and stuff. And it's very heartwarming. And then Stefan like moves to Europe to be a model or something.
Uh-huh.
I don't know, whatever.
Yeah.
Stefano pretended to be Elvis Presley who wasn't dead. That's right, that's what it was. Stefano DiMera dressed up as Elvis. We saw the picture, slept with Susan because she's such an Elvis fan. Named her kid Elvis because she thought that Elvis was EJ's kid, EJ Elvis Jr.
Oh my
Oh,
gosh, that
gosh,
is
see,
so
this is
goofy.
this is why we need to do reports, homework, and essays so we can remember the lessons that we learned in
I
previous
think
weeks here on
so.
Days for Dummies.
I think so.
Susan had a goofy romance with Edmund back in the day, so yeah, she was just goofy. Susan is a humble queen, and she has a love. She has a love who is equally as humble and sweet. I
Hmm.
don't quite understand what that means. She has a love who is equally as humble as sweet. So is Susan off somewhere, married to some also really nice guy? I don't know. Susan wears outrageous clothes, the teeth, and has a southern accent.
A little, yeah, yeah. I guess she does a little bit. We haven't heard that much dialogue from her.
I guess it'd be
Not that
pretty
much.
hard to kind of tell too with the giant teeth apparatus in your mouth.
Yeah,
We didn't really talk about it and running out of time because we don't know crap about Vivien. Um,
we
we
don't.
don't know schnitt about
I was
Vivien.
happy to see her some different clothing on them because that headdress that she had on last week and that sparkly black thing, she looked like some, I don't know, looked awful, I thought. This
Did
week she looked better.
Roger is Susan's husband. Didn't Shane hang out with Susan or something? No, who was it? Oh, this other guy that's coming back from Days of Our Lives that I wrote about on soapoperanews.net, and he's
Hmm.
connected to Susan. It might be this person that Melissa's talking about right now,
Okay.
but I don't think that article's up yet, so I don't know if I should have said anything.
Hmm.
Whatever, who cares? What are they gonna do? Fire me? Um, I didn't sign anything. Uh, Stefano pretended that Susan has a husband, Roger. Vivien is absolutely wonderful in a horrendous, villainous way, right? She gave birth and raised Philip as her own until he was a preteen.
Oh, wow. So she had a long history with him.
I guess I don't know.
Okay.
All I know is that for the cover art, because for the cover art for this one, I've just picked a shot of that one um the one that the lady that danced and sang with Dick Van Dyke at the hospital is kind of being
Julie
held back.
Williams.
Hmm?
That's the character's name, Julie Williams.
Julie was being held back by Maggie, who was trying to get after
Yeah.
Susan or
Oh,
get
whip her
after
butt,
Vivien.
huh?
Yeah, so just from that screenshot alone, I'm like, I'm sold. I'm in. I want to know what's going on. It's to see these 80-year-old grandmas want to kick each other's ass. So
Uh-huh.
I'm looking
I
forward
liked
to it.
it.
I'm
I
looking forward
liked
to
it.
it.
I thought it was funny. There's a lot of things I think are funny on this show.
So
And that was one of them. That was
so
one of them.
so
Oh, Julie Williams, it's like, I'm gonna whip her butt.
so if you got
Maggie's
drawn
like,
in because of
oh.
the cover art and are disappointed that we didn't give the answers as to why Vivien is horrid, thanks for listening and watching anyway. I guess we'll find out together. Or next week,
Our
hopefully
professor
Angela
will
can
be
come
back
back.
and she'll be able to fill things in for us a little more.
Julie is the Audrey Weber of days, says Melissa. So I don't know if that helps you out. Puts things into perspective for you.
Well, that means that she's a very kind and loving, supported person and doesn't have a dirty word in her mouth.
Dolly follows that up though and says, "I love Julie because she's a granny that throws hands." So she has not an unkind word in her mouth, but she will also punch you in your very dirty mouth.
Well, like a lot of the older female characters on Days of Our Lives, I think that they make them too I don't over the top and how they look and stuff and the way they dress and stuff. But I thought Julie Williams, I thought what they choose for her, what they dress her as, her jewelry and stuff, I think she looks so classy and refined.
Oh,
Where the other ones look gaudy and kind of like over the top.
yeah,
I don't know. But
that's
I
fine.
am looking forward to Maggie getting that house back because I already don't like Vivien and I've only seen her twice and I
Well,
don't like her a bit.
maybe you're right. Maybe Teresa will be getting her hands on some sort of real will, some sort of codicil, some sort of something to take back to town. And the big question that Soap Opera Digest asks at least is, when Teresa gets this thing from Shane next week, will she give it to the people who need it?
I would say no. I think she's going to manipulate people with it first and
I feel
try
like that's
to
the case too.
be self-serving first and then manipulate people. And she's gonna keep it like as an ace in the hole, I think,
Yeah.
kind of thing.
Okay. Uh, Julie lives by the F around and find out mentality, says Melissa.
Oh, Oh, I like that.
You do like that. You've seen the graph, right? The graph of how much you can F around before you find out. There's some,
Uh-huh.
if it's a minor thing, you'll find out very quickly. But if it's
Mhm.
big, you can F around for a while where you find out. And then when you do find out, it's huge.
Yeah, it's blowing the top off. Yeah.
Oh goodness! In the first episode of Days, Julie got arrested for shoplifting. Julie used to be a troublemaker in her youth. She was introduced as the oldest granddaughter of Tom and Alice Horton. I don't know what
Oh,
that means.
so she's been on for decades, and I knew that actually, but she's been on for decades, just like the woman that depicts Maggie, and I forgot her name.
I feel like yeah, she just had an anniversary, didn't she?
Yeah, 50 years on Days of Our Lives. Wow. I think she's the longest running actor on a soap opera currently. She got Ken Schreiner beat
Gosh, Ken Shiner's been doing it for at least 49 years.
like 45 or 46 years.
Well,
Yeah.
awesome. Oh,
And you
good.
can't really count Rachel Ames either because she's never on. Audrey on General Hospital is never on.
No, no,
So,
she can't be considered a cast member currently. No, not even recurring or anything.
uh-uh.
It looks like 2 or more suitcases from the promo unless it changes hands. Suzanne Rogers is the name. Yeah, I don't know. So Days clearly has kept their older actors and older characters and kept the door open for them to stick around for pretty much as long as they want, so long as their character's been solid and successful. Like realistically speaking, what does Roman have to do with anything anymore other than just being the dad of the character that is in the story?
Yeah, he's just in the pub giving advice
Yeah,
and talking to
that's
Kate occasionally, right?
at this point, that's pretty much all the character can contribute, and that's not trying to be mean or anything. That's just being real about, at a certain point, a character has run out of stories to tell about them. That's why TV shows aren't usually on for forever, and if they are on forever, they do some sort of reset, rehash, new cast, something,
Yes.
because eventually the stories for the same characters get a little tired.
Yeah.
But Days has kept these people, unlike GH, got 2 or 3.
Yeah.
And when it comes to like a legacy, not even legacy, but like a legendary long-term super character that's been on forever, like the one that I can really point to the most is like Lucy. Of anyone, she's on the most.
Yeah, Lucy's especially lately. She's on a lot.
Yeah, but Robert's barely on. We don't have Rachel Ames anymore. Coming to the show. It's not like I don't know if it's because the studio isn't set up for it, because they don't care, because they're moving on to current characters, or I don't know really what the answer is, but there's definitely a difference.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. And the sheer number volume of older actors on Days of Our Lives, there's just more of them. People in their 70s. There's just more of them.
Mm-hmm.
Where in GH, there's lots and lots of characters in their 50s and 60s.
Yeah.
For Days, it's beyond that.
Yeah. I wonder what'll happen though once we have to talk about it a little bit more at 11 a.m. During the GH podcast, but I do wonder what it would be like for General Hospital if a couple of these very prominent anchor characters who are in their 50s or 60s were to decide to take some extended time off. What would that do to the age group of stories that's being told? Would things shift over to like Michael's age group primarily, or stay with the people in their 50s and 60s? I don't know. Anyway, that's it. That's all I got to say. Plus, we're getting up on, you gotta take a break, before you get into GH at 11 a.m.
We do.
Yeah.
Do.
What? Laura, Anna, Mac is on a lot lately. Felicia and Tracy, they're doing a lot better. I guess you can count Tracy, but I didn't because she hasn't been on like Lucy had been still on when Tracy wasn't. You know what I mean? Lucy has been on the show the entire time we've been doing the podcast.
Yeah.
I cannot say that about Tracy.
I
can't say that about Anna. I can't say that about Mac. I can't say that about... I can say it about Anna. Okay. And somebody overlooked. Anyway, that's GH stuff. We'll talk about that a little later on.
Okay.
Anyway. Yes, there is a lot to talk about on GH. So we're getting out of here. Class dismissed. Go have a lunch. Have a lunch break. You know, do a little homework. Read a text.
That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to go downstairs and make myself an egg and cheese sandwich, I think.
You know, call your study group. All that kind of stuff. But come back to us at 11 a.m. so we can talk about GH. 10th floor podcast is going to be upon you, where Matt and Kat talk about this week's GH.
Yep.
But that's it. Class dismissed for now. Join us next week right here, 9 a.m. for Days for Dummies. And hopefully, Angela will be able to come back.
Hopefully.
Well, Angela, come on back at 11 a.m. to spill the beans on Leslie Charleston instead of just hinting at whatever it is you're hinting at, okay? She says Leslie Charleston's okay. She's just choosing to not work right now for other reasons. Well, what are those other reasons, Angela? If you're not going to tell us those other reasons, why'd you say something to begin?
The teaser.
Anyway, out of here. Goodbye. See you at 11. Like the channel. If you don't like General Hospital and will not come back, at this point, like this video, subscribe to this channel, because Days of Our Lives isn't going anywhere. You know, we're going to continue to bring this to you every Sunday morning. So like, subscribe, leave a comment at the bottom, click the little heart button with the money dollar sign inside. Leave a couple of bucks for the channel. 15% of that is going to be donated to charity. And the rest of it helps me and the channel just continue to surge and be great and bring you the best. Don't make me make a note in your official file. Angela, you cannot threaten me, okay? I pay your wage with my tuition, okay? I'm the one that's in charge here. Have a great day. We'll see you at 11. Bye.
Bye, guys.